entertainment. The fact is, television ratings are on a decline, traditional TV is on decline. We have a technology that millennials love, and we know from our data that one of the best ways to engage, because we know we are a local service, when you have to do local entertainment, the best way to get new users and keep them engaged is through local content. However, we don't believe that just buying content, local content alone is enough, and there are some stories that you just simply can't buy in the market, which means you have to make them. Now, as Mark Reyes will tell you later, and my team, Elaine and everyone here, certainly Georgette and Sherwin, making a show requires a lot of heart and soul and a lot of work, which means you only take on the ventures that you feel are really special and worth it. And led by data again, where I think we all thought, I wonder if there's a way to get some of the Encantadia magic for iflix, but in an iflix way on a completely new platform, and hopefully you'll agree that we've done that. So.
No, honestly, I wanted to piggyback on one of the things you said, which was engagement. We live in an age where we really have to connect with people, what they like, how they embrace certain things. But speaking of embrace, Sherwin, now I want to ask you, how did the Philippines embrace the idea of an iflix original?
Well, on day one, we really wanted to do something like this, and we've been teasing the market for quite some time. This particular project, we've been meeting with Mark and the Sangres, like for quite some time, like maybe since 2016, was it? There was a lot of tease along the way. Well, your question, the market was very receptive. We're very online, we're very engaging. The customer service group here, we take it very seriously. We talk to the addicts, we talk to the fans, we know all about the fandoms, and we sort of try to understand the market. One from the data perspective, second one from one-on-ones, trying to understand is this something you'd like? Is this something you'd be interested in? And obviously, we felt that the answer is yes, and we just pulled the trigger, go. We should be able to create something like this.
It seems like everybody is interested. Aren't you all interested? Don't you want to find out how this movie is going to be like? Yeah. I'm sure you all are. So speaking of course, how it's going to be like, I have to ask, of course, our head of content, what was it like? Because honestly, the idea alone of putting these 4 strong women together, coming up with an original film, the production, the anticipation, the execution, what pushed you? I have to ask, what pushed you to be this ambitious with this idea?
We always think big, and we found ourselves in a unique situation to actually put and bring the 4 girls together. Obviously, because of their contracts with networks, they couldn't go with one network. But in iflix, we realized that there is a way to bring them together. And as I said, if you watch the video earlier, we were looking at our data, we were looking at what people were watching in our service, and we realized that because they liked Encantadia so much, and we were in that position where we can bring the 4 together, we said, why not? But actually, that whole story, I'll tell you the story of how it went. I was just joining iflix. I was having dinner in Mark Reyes' house. We were saying, what can we do together? If we were to go into originals, what would it be? And then he said, you know what? I have this idea. We've been talking to the girls, and maybe we can do it. But the girls and the rest, he will tell us.
Few years back, before this meeting, there was another dinner. Mahilig ako magpa-dinner sa house. There was another meeting, and then they wanted a reunion project. The 4 girls and I said, let's do something. Let's have one project for a reunion because it's been a long time. And then I said that will be hard because 2 of them is on ABS, 2 others are connected with GMA. Then we said maybe we can do a film because that's neutral ground. Then let's just look for a producer to do it. Then I said, you know what? Why don't we put up a corporation, which is Sangre Productions Inc. Because I said we're not getting any younger, and then if we want to do the content that we want to do, we have to be our own bosses. Okay, so that was part of the dream, and then the other part was when Georgette already told the stories, we ended up talking about putting up a movie. Then the first project was totally not Mystified. It was something else. It was called Wi-Fi Wives. It's supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, rom-com, something like Sex in the City with the 4 girls. And then when I talked to the bosses, they said, no, we want something like Encantadia. They said, are you sure? And that's what they wanted. I said, it's gonna be expensive. And they said, yeah, go for it. So here we are tonight, 2 years later, developing and shooting, and and we're at the cusp of introducing you the main trailer tonight. It's been a lot of hard work. The girls look fantastic on screen. I have to acknowledge the presence of Ms. Shasha Padilla. Because you will know where the DNA pool comes from. That's why Karylle is so pretty and all. They're a bit much more mature, but as you can see from the posters, from their interviews in Metro Magazine, and in the film itself, they're still hot. That's the best way to describe them. And then fight scenes were a little bit harder for them to do. I remember the very first time that we did the first workshop and rehearsal for the fight scenes. I think you're a martial artist, so you can relate to how hard it is. And they were getting into shape. The very first thing I see in our thread was Sunshine. If I can just put it here, she'll probably kill me, but if I could put it up here, was her looking at the mirror, taking a picture of herself, the punong-puno ng salumpas. Medicated, patches around her body. And then that just goes to show how hard it was. 2006 in Encantadia, it was nothing to them. They would fight and switch to drama and then switch back to fight. It's no big deal for them. This time around, they had to catch their breath, and then there were more salumpas and medicated patches around. Oh, the new thing now, essential oils. We didn't have that in 2016. So that, but the technology now gives us so much latitude in doing something like this, and I'm very appreciative for iflix for not scrimping on the technicals. They gave me what I wanted. We were reunited not only with the Sangres for this project, but also with Riot Inc. Riot Inc. is the one that did the effects for Encantadia 2006. Now they're doing it for Mystified, and I'm very excited for you guys to see what they've come up with. I don't want to brag because I might oversell the show, but I'm very happy. I mean, coming from a geek, I'm very happy for what I saw. For me to scream when I was seeing the effects, that's it. I said, Jay Santiago, Brian, thank you very much. Another guy that was brought into this project again was Alan Felician, who did the original music of Encantadia. If you know the hey of Encantadia, he did the music for Mystified as well. And then Kay made this beautiful music. I think you will hear it later. There's two versions of it. One is a rock version, one is a mellow version. And it's going to be part of the film. It's very beautiful. So the energy that we had in Encantadia way back, that kami yung gumagawa. We need music for this Kay. Then we had another guy, just to make the music for us. We were on our own. Just like this time around, we did it again. So hopefully the magic of Encantadia is brought into Mystified. And again, I thank iflix for allowing Sangres Productions Maiden Voyage to be with them.
I think also we received a lot of support. You could see just in this room alone, we received a lot of support from